guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Courtney and I've been a part-time reseller on Poshmark since 2018, and I'm gonna switch it up a little bit today and do a what sold video. Normally I ship every like 1 to 2 days. I don't really ship on weekends typically, but any like weekday I ship every day or every other day. So I typically don't do these videos because I'm like moving stuff out so quickly, but I'm a little bit behind on shipping right now, so I've got a little bit of a stack, so I figured why not make a video. The lighting's okay. I'm in my garage, if you couldn't tell, and we've got Oliver here with us. He likes to help Mama ship. Anyways, all right, let's jump into it. So up first, this is a not great sale. I mean, it didn't sell for like nothing, but it took forever. I sourced this before I started tracking when I list items, so probably 2 years ago. So this is Halston, and it was new with tags. I got this at like a 70% off Plato's Closet sale, style encore sale, something like that. And I thought because it was like regular, like Halston brand, not H by Halston, which is the diffusion line, I thought that it would do better. But I've been like constantly lowering the price on this for 2 years now, and it finally sold. So do not recommend picking this up. At least I didn't have a good experience with it. I am not the kind of reseller that like does inventory of my inventory like once a year and purges things that have been around for longer than a year or anything like that. I just don't have my life together enough to be that person. So I just honestly hold on to things until they sell. You'll see in this what sold that there's some things that literally sold for the lowest price that you can sell something on Poshmark, which is $3, because again, I don't purge. I just leave it listed until it sells. So typically every item, unless it sells for like over $50, I just use this brown packing paper to pack them up. I know that it's not required on Poshmark, but me as a buyer, I prefer when the seller like takes an extra minute to make sure that it's packaged securely. So I just wrap it up and I use a little thank you sticker. Get this thank you stickers on Amazon. I'm pretty sure they're listed in the description. And then I also, I know that you can get like Tyvek mailers for free on USPS, and I do use those. I'm actually out right now. I just placed a new order for like 100 of them this morning. But the pretty mailers bring me joy, so I pay for them and I use them. If something sells for like less than $15 or $12, I will use the USPS Tyvek mailers because those are free, and these cost money. So but I'm actually out of the Tyvek right now. And it took me a long time to find this out or realize this, but if you put the sticker on before you put the item in, it's so much easier. I'm sure that everyone already knows that, and I'm just a dummy that didn't think about it. But yeah, I probably resold for 2 or 3 years before I realized that. All right, up next is a consignment client item. This is the consignment client that's one of my best friends. She went through weight loss surgery and lost a bunch of weight, so she had like, I want to say she sent me like 10 or 12 medium-sized boxes full of plus-size clothing. I still haven't listed them all. I kind of like list like half a box here and then do some other consignment and sourced items here because it's just, it doesn't really bring me joy. But, you know, she's one of my best friends. She would do anything for me, so I offered to sell everything for her. So I don't actually pick up a lot of plus size anymore. This is Eloquy. It does sell. I mean, I probably sell 1 to 3 items of hers a week. But if you're paying for inventory, I would not, unless you're paying like, I don't know, $2 or less, I'm not picking up Eloquy, Torrid, Lane Bryant, those types of brands anymore because they just are not selling. And I saw, I can't remember what reseller it was, but somebody posted a theory that the reason plus size inventory, like average sale price and sell-through rate has gone down so much is because GLP-1s have become more popular and people are losing weight. Obviously, I don't have any data to back that up, but I thought it was an interesting theory. So this sold, I just realized I never told you guys what the Halston sold for. The Halston dress sold for $15. So after Poshmark fees, that left me with 12. And then after my guesstimated cost of goods, because again, I wasn't really tracking things well back when I purchased that, I'm guessing I paid maybe like $3 for it. So I'm guesstimating that my profit on that Halston dress was $9. So, I mean, I did make a profit, so that's good, but it's still like, I'd like to make more than $9 per item. So this Eloquy dress, obviously my cost of goods was 0 because it's a consignment client item. It sold for $18 and my earnings after Poshmark fees were $12.08, but I take a 40% cut of consignment items. So my profit, 40% of $12.08 is $4.83. And this Eloquy dress took 119 days to sell, which, you know, it's not bad. Ideally, I'd love to have things sell within 90 days, but I know that's not realistic for everything. But I'm not mad about 119 days. Clearly I have the storage space, so it's not like it's inconveniencing me to hang on to it for that long. All right, up next is not a consignment piece. This is, you probably just saw it recently in a haul. This is a pair of Biore joggers. The interior tag is ripped out, so I can't show you that, but these sold super fast, which I was honestly expecting. This brand is like, in my opinion, the new Lululemon. It just sells so stinking fast. You're not gonna make $1 million on it. Like, I know back in the day when I started reselling, Lululemon would bring you in like $100 or something for a pair of leggings or joggers. That's definitely not how this brand is, but it is super in demand because it's a relatively new brand. I don't know if it's been around for a long time or not, but it's recently really popular. So a lot of people are looking for it on the resale market, and this only took a week to sell. It wasn't a good size. It was in a women's extra large, so that it had that going for it, but combination of style, size, brand, all of those things is why I picked it up. The average cost of goods for that thrift trip was $7.63. The sell price was $46. After Poshmark fees, it was $36.80. So my profit was $29.17, which love to see it. Ollie's such a good boy. I opened the garage door so that we had more light in here, and he's just chilling. He's not trying to get out at all. He's such a good boy. All right, this one I was pleasantly surprised by. So this I kind of picked up on a whim. The piece was great, and I know that this brand is expensive, but it is just a mall brand, and I never sell it. But this is White House Black Market, and it was new with tags. And this was a white strapless jumpsuit, and it did actually have some like scuffing marks on it from the thrift store, and I of course noted everything. Like there's this mark, I don't know if you'll be able to see it right here. There's like a mark right here, and then there's like dust all over the bottom, and I photographed everything, noted everything, and this thing sold in 5 days for $50. So that has me reevaluating White House Black Market. It makes me want to consider picking it up maybe more in the future. I obviously wouldn't pick up just anything from that brand. It would need to be something substantial like this, and something that you can attach keywords to. Like I used a lot of like bridal, wedding, rehearsal, those kinds of words with this because it's a white piece. And that's probably what helped it sell if I had to guess. So average cost of goods for this thrift trip was $7. Again, it sold for $50. After Poshmark fees, that left me with $40, and after my cost of goods was taken out, my profit for this piece was $33. And again, 5 days to make $33. I'll take that any day. All right, up next was another really quick sale. This is a consignment piece that I just hauled for you guys. Simon Miller. It's this little spell out crop tee, and I did notice when I was listing it that it had a spot on the back, so had to note that. Let's see. Cost of goods for this was $0. I think I listed it around like $85 and was going to take offers, and I kind of went back and forth with this buyer, and it ended up selling for $50 same day. So I honestly don't get a lot of same day sales. A lot of resellers do, but I don't unless I'm listing this consignment client's inventory, because everything that she sends me is so trendy, and honestly a lot of it is still on the website because this particular consignment client is like a micro influencer, so she kind of recirculates her closet frequently. She's typically worn it a couple times and is already sending it to me to resell while it's still on the website, which is really nice. Because this was a consignment item, even though it sold for $50, after Poshmark fees it was $40, and I get 40% of that, which was $16. And for a same-day sale and for something this small, it takes literally no effort to list it. So that is like a quick and easy $16 in my pocket. I know I've had a lot of people comment on my videos and ask like why I don't ask for more, because I know that a lot of resellers that do consignment charge like 50-50 cut, and I get that, but for me, when I started taking this consignment client, I was actually only charging 30% of a cut, and I recently went up to 40%. But because her stuff, A, she gives me so much stuff, B, she gives me so many hauls throughout the year, and C, the stuff sells so fast, so I don't have to like sit it in bins and sit on it for months and months and months, most of the pieces. 40% is plenty for me. Like I'm just doing this for a little bit of extra money. It's not my full-time gig, it's my part-time gig. So it's just helping pay off debt and pay for groceries and different things like that. So for me, like making $16 off of one item that I didn't have to invest any money into is the perfect setup for me. This is the same consignment client from the same haul that I recently showed you guys. It's one of the 3-piece sets. I'm not going to unfold it and show you guys because honestly it would be hard to show you anyways. So I will put the stock photo of the item up on the screen. Although, where is the third piece? Oh, I dropped it. Great, gotta lint roll that now. I have this like big honking lint roller. But this is the brand All the Ways. It's a Revolve brand. It does not retail for a ton. It's not one of the higher retailing ones, but it is really trendy, and this was still on the website for full price. So I think it retailed somewhere around like 80 something for all 3 pieces. So when I listed it, I can't remember what I listed it at, maybe like somewhere around 60, but it ended up selling for $48. So after Poshmark fees, earnings were $38.40, and then after my 40% cut, that left me with $15.36, and this also sold same day. So again, like with something that I'm photographing, listing, you know, and it's selling the same day and I'm getting it out, like for $15.36, absolutely, I'll take that any day. I am going to be moving in January, and I'm not going to have the same amount of storage space, so I have yet to figure out what I'm going to be doing in terms of reselling. I really don't want to have to get a storage unit because honestly I'm just lazy and I don't want to have to go off site, like leave my house to package sales or to get items to package for sales. So I'm really hoping that wherever I end up, I have a lot of storage space. I am moving in with a friend who's also going through a divorce, so we're doing that for a little bit to save money, and she does have kids, so that's going to be an interesting transition. I have lived with kids before, but it's been a long time, like probably eight or 9 years. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, this is the Aloe Accolade sweatshirt. It was new without tags, and I did expect this one to go quickly, and it did. I did get an initial offer same day for I think $70. I want to say that I listed it for like $125 based off of the comps that I saw. And I always list a little high because I have Posher VA set up to 20% off offers that are sent out to likers, which, little plug and sidebar, if you don't use an automation system for your Poshmark closet, highly recommend it. If you're a new reseller, it's basically what people call a bot, and you pay $25 a month, I think it is, and it basically runs your Poshmark closet for you. So anytime someone likes an item, like presses the little heart button, it sends them an automatic offer based on whatever % off you want to give them, and it shares your listings for you. It does so much, and I honestly, like, probably 95% of these sales are thanks to Posher VA because of the automation. So I highly recommend getting that. I think I do have a code that'll get you guys maybe like 20% off your first month or something. It's Magnolia Thrifts. I'll put it on the screen here. But if you've never tried it out and want to try it out, they do also do 2 weeks for free. I think no credit card required, if I remember correctly. So That way you can try it out and see what you think. But yeah, I did the free trial maybe like 2 years ago, and I have never gone back. Like, I know that there's other softwares out there, but I'm just so happy with Poshmark VA. There's no reason for me to try one of the other ones. So these are my bigger poly mailers, and they're so cute. They have like these little cheetahs on them, and I just use those. Like, I don't like to overstuff things, because I've had in the past when I've done that, I've gotten reports that like the poly mailer was ripped in transit or whatever, and I just don't like that. So this gives me peace of mind that it will arrive in good shape. Can y'all tell that I'm not used to what sold videos, because I keep forgetting to tell you what I actually made. All right, so nope, that's not it. There it is. So that sweatshirt ended up selling, again, I had it listed like $125, $120, something like that. It ended up selling for $90. So after Poshmark fees, that was $69.68. So my profit on that was $27.87. So that's 40%. And it sold in 1 day. No brainer. Okay, back to a not so great purchase. So this is a Torrid blazer, and I am historically known for not looking closely enough for flaws at the thrift store, and this was one of those cases. So when I got home and got it underneath my lights, I realized that there was a grease spot kind of like on the lapel, so it was kind of an obvious spot, and then there was also like a pull on the shoulder, so obviously I had to disclose that. And the way that I handle that, unless it's like, you know, some really dramatic flaw, like a gaping hole or something that I find, I'm still gonna list it and try to recoup my money. So that's what I did here. And my cost of goods, which was an average cost of goods that day, was $7.54, and it only sold for $14, which means that after Poshmark fees, that was $8.73, which means my profit was $1.19, and it took like over 6 months to sell. So again, I am not picking up much Torrid anymore unless it's like a new with tags item. I will pick up new with tags substantial pieces, but I still don't expect a lot, and I expect it to sit for a little while, which is such a bummer. That used to be such a great bread and butter, like quick flip for me, and I hate that it's not that way anymore. And this one I think I had for about 6 months before it sold. I do remember picking it up, but it was at a new Goodwill that I'd never been to before. All right, this is the best sale by far. This is a designer brand called Off-White. This is what the label looks like. It doesn't say Off-White anywhere big, but it does say it smaller here. And it's just this like streetwear designer brand. This was called like something like the Off-White drip tee or something like that. So I found this in the men's t-shirt section at a local Goodwill, and I paid like $3.24 for it, which is absolutely insane. And just wait for it. It ended up selling for $119 full price. Why is it that men buy things for full price and women don't? Isn't that wild? Do you guys have that same experience? Like, 90% of my full price sales, I'd say, are men's items. I don't get it, but I love it. I mean, I'll take it. But yeah, this sold for $119. So after Poshmark fees, that was $95.20, which left me with a profit after cost of goods of $91.96. So yeah, that's a pretty good sale if you ask me. And it took maybe like 6 or 8 months to sell, which I am more than happy to hang on to something for that long if it's going to sell for over $100. Actually, I forgot, since this is such an expensive sale, I try not to use these a lot because they're plastic, but anything that's like a higher end item, I do put in these like cellophane bags just for a little extra layer of protection. Ollie, you can't go that way, buddy. And I'll just get these off of Amazon. I'm pretty sure these are linked in my description below, but if they're not and you're looking for them, let me know. All right, last couple sales were not great. I actually just sold this one when I came out here, so I got to do the math on that, and I'll tell you guys about that. So this is a bundle, which I don't get a lot of bundles. I'm not sure why. Probably because my closet's so random. But these were 2 bad buys. They've been in my garage so long that they have like leaves and dust on them. So this is I've probably had these for, God, I don't know, 3 years. And this is the DV Dolce Vita line, which is sold at Target, and I obviously did not realize that when I picked these up. I do remember getting these. They were at like a church sale, and I think I paid like 50 cents for them. Thank God I didn't pay more. And they were not even in good condition, so it must have been one of those days where I was just feeling like spending money, and I picked them up and listed them. So I've had them forever. And then the second piece is a bathing suit bottom, and if you guys have been reselling for at least a couple years, you probably remember the infamous Nordstrom Rack $5, $10, $15 sale. And I picked up a ton of these Maji swim bottoms, and Maji is a decent brand. It's, you know, if you get like a nice one piece that's new with tags or whatever, they do sell decent, but I think I paid like $5 or $10 for each of these, and I still have like 6 left, and that was like 2 years ago, and this one sold for pennies. So I didn't even write down like what everything sold for. I think it was like the swimsuit was down to like $5, and then the shoes were down to $3. So I made like a couple bucks. So I doubt I even recouped my money. I probably lost money on this one. So there's that. I think I'm going to use a shoebox for this, which I don't love using shoe boxes because you have to use tape, which is just a pain in the butt, but I think this would be the best for the sale. And this is just the USPS shoebox. You can get it off USPS.com for free. They do have their shipping supplies for free. That's where I get these from. All right, I wish we were ending with a banger, but we're not. This is, oh, we do have that other one. So this is a bra sale. I actually need to look at my phone, which is recording me right now, and make sure that this is the right one. But this is a Cacique, which is a Lane Bryant brand, I think. Their Intimates brand. And it's a consignment piece for my friend. So it sold for 10 bucks. Earnings were $7.05 after Poshmark fees, and my profit from that was $2.82. And it took 190 days to sell. So I am going to check my phone to make sure this is the right bra, and then get the info on that last piece, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, heck no. No! There's a bee! That's one not so great thing about leaving the garage door open, is there a bee got in here. But good news, I sold something while we've been doing this video. Okay, so I did have the right bra. I think I already told you guys what I made on that, so I'm going to pack that up and I'll tell you about the last 2. Remy. Oh, good girl. I thought you ran away. All right, so this sold. It is the brand Lava Core. Here's the logo. I have had this for a long time. I don't know if you guys remember. It was one of my like earliest videos that I posted, but I went to a consignment / yard sale that was like a movie set sale, and this was one of the items from like the wardrobe that they were selling. I actually think I had 2 of them, and the first one, the men's piece, sold pretty quickly. This was a women's piece, and I paid, average cost of goods was $6.24, and it only sold for $23, and that's after I lowered it several times. So after Poshmark fees, that brought it down to $18.40, and then my profit was like 12-ish. I didn't have my phone to do the math, so somewhere around $12, which, I mean, I'm not mad about it, but it did take a long time to sell, so keeping it in my inventory for that long just for $12, not the best, not ideal, but I am glad that it sold. All right, and when I was inside getting the label, I noticed that these sold. This is a pair of a Goldie, and it looks like I got them from a Nordstrom rack sale and listed them new with partial tags. But these were a size 23, so they did not sell great, and they took forever to sell. They've been listed for probably at least a year, because I don't think I've sourced from Nordstrom rack at all this year. So that's not great, but I did know going into it that they were a small size and they may take a little while to sell. So yeah, those are my sales. I 0 out of 10 recommend recording in the garage. It is so hot. Next time I may just bring all of my supplies inside and do it inside. I also don't like that I'm like not facing the camera while I'm doing this, so I'll try to make these a little bit better next go round. But I do know that I've had a lot of requests for me to do what sold. So ask and you shall receive. I guess I could also do like compilations of what sold, since I do ship out every night or every 2 nights. I could just record like a little bit, because I only sell anywhere from like 1 to 5 items per day, usually lower to like closer to that 1, but I guess I could record like little clips every night and then just compile them together and do like a weekly what sold video. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know below. But those are all of my sales, and I actually don't even know the dates. I think Thursday maybe through today, which is Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days worth of sales, which I'm not mad about. I have been listing way more consistently, trying to bring my closet back to life. And I'd say it's been working. So I'm happy with all of these. Happy to move some old inventory out. Happy to move some new inventory out. Happy to have that, you know, pending balance in Poshmark going up and up. At one point it was at 0. So I'd say that we are doing a lot better than that. That's for sure. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching my video. I do have another haul coming your way, a Goodwill haul. So that should be my next video. But again, I appreciate you guys so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.